Hi guys, it's Gina Brogan. How are you? I just wanted to share with you something that I know to be true for all of us. It's universal. And when you do this one thing, you can get that thing that we all want. We crave it, we desire it, we seek it, we chase it, and there's no need to chase it. We all just want to be seen. We want to be seen and appreciated and believed and adored and celebrated. Okay, so we want a few things. But these things aren't things. They're acknowledgement. And when we were growing up, may have been raised in environments where we were not given those things. We were not seen. We were not appreciated. We weren't believed. We weren't celebrated. We weren't adored. We weren't protected. And then we learned coping skills to have our needs met. And some of those coping skills look like being quiet, or they look like attention seeking things, or they look like telling stories, or they look like taking care of other people's feelings so that we would be celebrated for being a good girl. Or it looked like getting really good grades and performing, or it looked like creating chaos so we could just be seen. And those coping skills, whatever we used in order to get along in our early lives, they don't serve us as we grow into adulthood. And what happens is we continue to grow and develop intellectually, like our brains grow, we learn new things, we learn how to, perform in school and get good jobs and make money or do whatever, the things that look like we're being smart adults. And our bodies physically develop. So we grow into these adult bodies, but what doesn't always develop appropriately is our emotional bodies. And so as a result, when we grow up and we are walking around in these adult bodies, doing adult things and living adult lives, we are also emotionally stunted and underdeveloped. And that is, I call that the inner toddler. We often have our inner toddler running around making decisions for us and doing things that do not serve us and repeating old patterns and habits that might sabotage our adult. And this is very, very common. This is something I experience both with myself as I'm going through my own personal growth journey. Our little inner toddler, when we don't take care of her, when we don't see her, listen to her, believe her, honor her, respect her, trust her, and adore her and celebrate her, then she is going to act out in those unhealthy ways that she learned when she was a little kid, learned how to cope in our families that may have not been able to meet our emotional needs. And so one of the things that I am noticing with all of my clients, everybody I work with and talk to, it is so common that they continue to act out in these ways that they know intellectually, they're like, why am I doing this? Why am I continuing to go back to that partner who is not kind to me? He or she is abusive, is toxic, and it's like, I'm smart as an adult, but why do I keep doing this behavior that I know does not serve me? And I'm going to tell you why, and what you can do to change it. You can see your inner toddler. You can listen to your inner toddler. You can love her, celebrate her, adore her, and believe her. And here's how. So, the reason why you might find that your life is becoming more and more out of control, or there's some, you're acting in ways that don't make sense to you, you can start to do this. See her. How do you see your inner toddler? Through meditation, through sitting with your emotions, sitting with those uncomfortable emotions, sitting with her when she is having a tantrum. Instead of telling her, no, stop behaving this way, stop screaming, stop overeating, stop going back to that person. Ask her why. What does she need right now? And when you can sit with yourself in quiet solitude, without distractions, and let all of the uncomfortable feelings that she has been trying to avoid for so many years, maybe decades, and tell her these feelings are okay. These feelings are true. These feelings are real and they're valid. And you validate what she's feeling, what you are feeling, without making yourself wrong, without making yourself not feel them, like without trying to make those feelings go away through addictions. We try to make these feelings go away, these big, uncomfortable feelings. We try to make them go away through our addictions. And that addictions can look like anything. It can look like drugs. It can look like cigarettes. It can look like alcohol. It can look like TV. It can look like gossip. It can look like smoking. It can look like overeating. It can look like dramatic relationships and chaotic relationships. Anything. You can create so much drama and unhealth in your life. Unhealth is not a word, but disease in your life when you refuse to allow her to be seen. When you refuse to see your little girl inside and hold space for her to have those big, giant emotions. When we were growing up, when she was growing up, she learned, don't have those big emotions. Don't cry. Don't be too full of joy. Don't be who you really are. And as a result, you said it's wrong to be sad. It's wrong to be happy. It's wrong to want things. It's wrong. I'm wrong. And when that happens, you learn to disassociate from who you actually are and deny who you are. And you've been trying to be seen and heard and loved and held and celebrated. And in doing so, you're chasing love. You're chasing that feeling of enoughness. You're chasing that feeling of comfort in things outside of you. And when you take the time in your life to feel those hard feelings, and even if you do it within the context and container of a therapist, a really good friend, if you have really good friends who can see you in your pain and not judge you and not try to fix you, that's a good friend. And if you can do that with a coach, if you can do that with yourself, mainly with yourself, when you learn how to soothe yourself through those challenging big feelings and survive them and let them out of your body, release them from your body, you're actually literally releasing toxins. When you cry, you release toxins from your body. And then you find yourself on the other side. And on the other side, there is relief. There's a sense of peace and love. And the more often you can sit with yourself through difficult conversations, through difficult feelings, through big emotions, and say, it's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy and full of life. It's okay to dance. When you allow you to be okay, that is truly loving yourself. Recently, I've experienced with a couple of clients some interesting big things. First of all, one client who had not allowed herself to cry. And we had been working together for maybe a month or 6 weeks. And some big, heavy things are going on in her life with an old partner and some family things. And we had a session and she told me, oh my gosh, I came home from whatever, and I was at home and I just cried. I cried, and here's the key words, like a stupid idiot for 45 minutes. And I cried like a stupid idiot. And I said, what? You cried like a stupid idiot. Tell me about that. Yeah, I just couldn't stop. And I said, tell me about the stupid idiot part. She says, well, it's bad to cry. It's stupid to cry. There's no crying in my life. It's not a good thing that like only stupid people cry. I mean, she really felt that. And we had a long reframe around the actually what a healthy response it is to cry. And she had moved because she allowed herself to be in touch with herself through her own journaling work and taking some time out of her busy life to be by herself. She had always lived a very, very scheduled, busy, full of people, highly chaotic life. And when she allowed herself to cry, well, she didn't actually allow it. She couldn't stop herself. She released years, decades of pent-up emotions that had been stuck in her body. If you've heard of the book, The Body Keeps Score, you know that the body pays attention to all of our things, our experiences, our trauma, our emotions. And when you allow yourself to release through tears, release through sweat, release through anger, release through writing angry words out, getting that out of your body, hitting a baseball bat against a mattress, punching pillows, punching a punching bag, you actually release toxins. And when you release toxins, you allow for endorphins to flow through. So if you've ever felt like what it's like after a big, real, like crazy cry, you suddenly feel like bliss. That's because you're allowing for all the emotions to flow through, and you do experience endorphin rush. And so that was the first time she had actually allowed herself to cry in decades. And as a result, like her life has completely transformed in unbelievable ways. She has actually she's become an energetic match for an amazing, amazing relationship. A man who is her king to her queen. She is in heaven at this moment, because she's allowing herself to be herself. She did tons of journaling work. She did tons of sitting with herself. When she would have overwhelming emotions, I would just say, sit with yourself, be with yourself. She still struggles with meditation, but that's something we're working on because a lot of stuff really comes up for her, which is important and necessary. When you sit with yourself and allow that little girl within you to be seen, it's going to be uncomfortable because you're not used to all of the emotions. There will be lots of fear, probably lots of anger, maybe lots of sadness, and it can be very overwhelming. But when you do this and you make this a steady practice in your life, you will realize that you become a lighter person. You actually become lighter, you become healthier, you do have more access to your full range of emotions. And when you allow yourself your full range of emotions without suppressing them, whether those emotions are positive or negative, which I don't really like to use those words, I like to say, what the actual emotions are. Fear, anger, sadness. Like typically we hide a lot of our emotions, our true emotions, under this wall of fear. And so when you allow your full range of emotions, what you're doing is you're seeing yourself. You're seeing that little girl inside of you who is screaming for attention. She's screaming for attention in all kinds of ways, healthy and unhealthy. So allowing yourself your full range of emotions is one of the greatest gifts of love you can give yourself. Then the beauty of that is you no longer are desperate and seeking it from other people. You're no longer seeking that and chasing that. Please see me. Are you my person? Are you my person? You are your person. You are her. Seeing her for exactly who she is and loving her exactly how she is all she wants. Being present with her, that little girl inside of you. What you do then, the gift you give yourself is a gift of alignment, a gift of presence, and a gift of enough. It is truly the most loving thing you can do. When you experience spontaneous bursts of emotion, notice it the next time. What if you see something that brings you joy? What do you do with that? Are you allowed to express it? I used to be in relationships where I couldn't express my joy because I was too happy. I was too much energy. I was too much. I used to be in relationships where I couldn't express my anger. It was unallowed to express anger. So, of course, I stuffed anger and I became somebody who wasn't angry. I'm nice. Gina Brogan is nice. She's a nice girl, not an angry girl. Well, I know now about how to acknowledge and accept and see and keep space for my healthy anger. Because if we are not allowing ourselves to be angry, then what we will do is abandon ourselves when we feel angry and say, no, I'm not that, and put on a mask. And that is a form of self-abandonment. But when you come back to, well, this is how I feel, and when you practice meditation, you practice quiet solitude, you practice time where you're not distracted by the outside world and looking left and right for love and permission, and you be her now, then you can be exactly who you are, and you can notice how you feel in each moment, because you may not even know what it feels like to be sad, to be angry, to be scared, to be happy, because you have resisted that and avoided those feelings for far too long. My invitation to you is try and start a meditation practice by simply being present with yourself and any emotions that come up, knowing they are just emotions. When you feel scared about something, when you feel regret about something, something that might happen in the future or something that happened in the past, know that they are not happening now. They are simply feelings and thoughts. Allow them without trying to make them go away or fix them. And you will start to love yourself exactly for who you are. This is where you become more confident. You become more radiant. You become more trustworthy for other people. When you are trustworthy with yourself and you can learn to trust the feelings that come through you, then the world can trust you. As you heal that little girl inside of you who's looking for, craving that attention, and you give yourself that attention and unconditional love, you can give it to the world honestly, without strings. And that is the greatest gift you give. So you have nothing out there to look for to heal you. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of men. There's no amount of food. There's no amount of anything. Hey, Helene, how are you? There is nothing out there that is going to heal you apart from your present moment awareness to you and that little girl inside. Sitting with her and all of her inconvenient, too big energy is the thing that will help you heal yourself and the world around you. Thank you, Helene. I hope you are doing amazing. And that is your gift you give to the world. That is the gift you give to the world. Your own self-trust, self-love, and seeing yourself. That is it. So, do you dare to start a daily meditation practice where you simply sit with what is, whatever comes up, without trying to fix it or make it go away? Just be with it and let it flow through you. And you release so many toxins, emotional and physical. Does anybody have any questions? If so, now's a good time to ask. And I'm here to answer. So you can, if you want to know more information about how meditation can heal your heart, how meditation and being present with that little inner toddler can change your life, message me, comment here, because meditation is, good job. Yes, you are, Helene. You are. Meditation, in my opinion, is your portal to your next level of love, prosperity, health, peace, happiness, and wellness. So thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you later. Goodbye. Put questions in here if you have questions, or message me. Thank you.